Hello everyone, this is the Millennium Report. On this channel, we will be talking about technologies that I believe will change how we live in the next 100 years or beyond. Today, we will be talking about a new robot out of China. This robot, his name is S1, is from robotics firm Astribot. And Astribot is a robotics firm based in Shenzhen, China. What everyone may be wondering is, what are the stats for this robot? What are the specs? There are not a lot of numbers available for this robot. If you check Astrobot's website, in fact I did, and a lot of the text you can translate to English, but there are some graphics with text on it that seems to be like an image, so it can't be translated to English, so I'm not sure what it says. So it could be more data or numbers. So if you can read Chinese, go to astrobot.com and look at basically their homepage. It just talks about their new robot. So if you can read it, try to let us know what it says. The first thing that jumps out to you is just how crazy fast the hand speed is. As you can see in the video, to slow it down to 0.25 the speed, and if you still look at the robot, is actually faster than any robot I've seen on the market. Even at a quarter the speed, it's still like faster than any arm movement robot I've seen. I don't think even Optimus moves this fast. Well, from what I've seen so far, I don't think Optimus, the Tesla robot, I don't think it moves this fast. And I don't even mean as fast as Astrobot here, I mean as fast as a quarter speed of Astrobot. So that's very fascinating. So Astrobot seems really cagey about their numbers. But from what I see so far, it looks like they have a mixture of pneumatics and hydraulic systems. I do not think any of these, like any component, like I don't think the actuators or motors, I don't think they're electric. You can tell the difference between an electric versus hydraulic system. If you look at Atlas, the robot from Boston Dynamic, it's very bulky, it's very stubby. The joints are not very narrow. The joints is all padded and seems like it's stuffed with wires and tubes and stuff like that. But if you compare it to their newer version, the new version of Atlas is very sleek, and like the joints are it seems very slim and not as bulky as the original Atlas was. So based on that, I would say this robot is a hydraulic system, especially the joints, the chest area, the elbows, and even the wrist. I think might be hydraulic systems or hydraulic actuators. The one-dimensional movement of the grippers usually suits pneumatic systems. Now this is really cool. So if you look on the bottom of the screen, you can see some kind of basic approximation of an internal monologue. So you can see an agent asks, "What do you see?" and explains basically what is seen in this vision system. Another thing I do notice is the object detection boxes in this video looks very similar to the one that YOLO uses. So YOLO is an open source, real-time, state-of-the-art object detection system. As the description says, it's state-of-the-art, so a lot of very famous and big companies, enterprises, they use YOLO for their object detection systems. It has a very good documentation. You should check it out if you want to try anything in that realm. I believe it detects objects in videos and images, so yeah, check it out if you find that kind of stuff interesting. at how dexterous it is using only claws and grippers. It really makes you think, is cooking, the task of cooking, a job that requires all 5 fingers? Does it require like the dexterity of a human hand, or can cooking be simplified? This robot is doing, like, I would say basic kitchen task or basic cooking task only using grippers. It was peeling a cucumber in the previous frame, so something like peeling a cucumber, if you can imagine, that's a precise action, and it's able to do it very easily. You know, when you think about it, a human hand has up to 27 degrees of freedom. That's 5 in our thumbs and about 20 degrees of freedom in our fingers. It's kind of crazy that this robot is doing all these things only using 1 degree of freedom, is gripper, which is just a linear movement. It makes me think, like, would we even need to give like robots fingers? But wouldn't it be capable of doing its task with grippers? From Astribot here, it seems like you can do a lot with grippers. It's just crazy to think about what this robot can do only using grippers. See, I like the way it opened the bottle there. It did it with such like personality. Like, it could have just acted like a regular robot, squeeze the bottle cap, twist it, take it off, put it on the table. For a human, that's a very like menial task. That's something that you wouldn't even think about. But for a robot to do something like that, obviously I think that was a pre-planned task. Like, I don't think it came up with something like that on its own. But seeing robots do things like that, have these little human imperfection, these little human, rough on the edgesness, for lack of a better term, that's just very cool to see. Now, if you weren't already panicking, now would be the perfect time to do that, because, like, honestly, these things I think will be able to replace most chefs in, like, not even like in high-end restaurant, like, a Michelin 5-star restaurant, where you can be like, oh, these chefs, they get paid a lot anyways, they have, a lot of money to live, blah blah blah. No, I don't think that would be the case. I think they will probably start replacing the lower level jobs first, like McDonald's, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A. Those fast food restaurants will probably be the first ones to invest in these technologies and try to basically replace their workforce. These are the only numbers we have available in terms of specs. Again, imagine the actuators on this. Like, imagine these actuators on the old Atlas. Assuming the Astribot is hydraulic, imagine these actuators on Atlas, bro. Like, the speed. Atlas can go from moving at 10 kilometers per hour or 2.5 meters per second to as fast as a car in a playground zone. Its precision is another crazy metric. It's precise to a distance that is smaller than a grain of sand. Like, that's a crazy thing to think about. Like, I don't know what the applications or the commercial applications for these will be. Like, the demo obviously showed that it's gonna be in kitchens, but I could imagine with that kind of precision, I could imagine this robot in somewhere like a surgeon room, like in a hospital doing surgical work, because that is an amazing level of precision. So they did not mention much of anything about its AI capabilities, but from what we saw from the video, from its internal monologue, I think they are probably using some kind of LLM to basically turn its reasoning into natural language. Now, let's assume that this robot comes out like it says this year, and is capable of making all kinds of meals, preferably on the first try without too many errors and things like that. When you look at the personal chef market, the industry was worth about $19 billion, and one chef, like as an individual personal chef, makes about anywhere from $26,000 to $43,000 a year. So if you can have this robot working 12 or more hours a day, you can make back 43 or even $50,000 within a year, or you can make even double that. If this robot was working like over 12 hours, 7 days a week for a year. When it comes to price, we don't have any figures for that. But if you compare it to the next comparable robot to this, which is Tesla's Optimus robot, I mean, I could compare it to Atlas, but Atlas is like super expensive. Like Atlas is worth close to $400,000. That's including all the parts and licensing fees. So I would not control this robot to Atlas. I think it would be considerably cheaper than Atlas. So if we can compare this robot to Tesla's Optimus robot, Optimus, according to Elon, I mean, take that how you will. According to Elon, Optimus will be worth about less than $20,000, or less. It will be worth less than buying a new car. That's according to Elon Musk. We double that. Let's say Optimus comes out at like 40K, then this robot will still probably be, I would think, maybe 30% or even close to 40% higher than Optimus is. So this robot, we can look at it anywhere between, I'm estimating it between anywhere from 50K to 100K, $100,000. I would still think this would be a good deal, because if you can buy this and let's say for 80K and put it in some kind of like a McDonald's restaurant, and granted, I don't know how, actually never mind, I was going to say I don't know how fast it will be compared to a Coke, but I actually do know how fast it will be, because we just saw the demo and it's super fast. So I think you can make your money back with this robot within a year. Even if it's 100 or even 80K, you can make that back within a year. Like the only overhead cost I can think about is perhaps the electricity fee, like the amount you pay for electricity to keep the robot operating. But other than that, and I would think maybe electricity will cost perhaps 10 to 20% additional. So I think this will be a very good deal for industrial, not even industrial, for like fast food restaurants. And that's the S1 robot from Astribot. Let me know what you think about it.